community, this is Tommy in North Carolina, and as you could tell from the beginning of this video, there's a box of records. So let me give you a little backstory, and we're going to quickly go through these records because there's quite a few, and I'm going to try to get through all of them in this video. So a little backstory. Many years ago, I went through a divorce, and my ex-wife called me a few days ago and said, "Hey, my mom's got a closet full of records. Do you want them?" And I said, "Sure." There were 4 boxes of records, and so I went by their house. I happened to be in Mississippi, and I grabbed the records. Now here's the other side of the story. There were a few of those records, or a few records that I had when we were married, that were missing, and I didn't know where they were, and I actually was afraid they had been thrown out. And so I went through the records. I did not bring all 4 boxes back with me to my house. I left quite a few with my stepdad, who also is a fan of records and record collecting. And so I got the ones that I wanted out, and now I'm going to show you what I brought home. Now, like I said, some of these, there's nothing really there's no like real crazy, oh my gosh, moments in here. But I am glad to get back those records that I thought were lost, because they were kind of irreplaceable. But we'll start off with the easy stuff. This is a series of records that I got back when I was at Delta State University. This is Toscanini conducting Schubert, and also a series of records, and I bought them like this. I think it was a library sale. It's a whole series of records. It's handwritten on here, but they're in nice shape of Beethoven symphonies, different classical records. Nothing really, nothing really to jump about. And so I should have set this up a little better. And so, like I said, we're gonna quickly go through these records and see what we've got. Thompson Twins, which I believe belonged to my ex-wife, actually. Side Kicks. I don't know this record. Lies is on this record. From 1983. So, there's that. This is one of mine that I had from back in the day on the Mercury label. Caravan. Eddie Layton at the Hammond organ. I don't know where I picked this up at, but I brought it back with me. All right, so I'm just going to grab a stack, and we're just going to sort through them as quickly as we can. Huey Lewis in the News, 4. So there you go. I think I've got a copy of Sports, so there is 4. The Dirty Dancing soundtrack, why not? So I think that belonged to my ex-wife. Well, I've got it now. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, CSN. This is one that I think I had, but here's another one. This may have been out of her parents' collection. I don't know. The Spencer Davis Group, I'm a Man. This is a stereo copy, so grabbed it back. Here's a copy of the Monkees in mono. Meet the Monkees, some people call it. It says mono good. That's not my handwriting. I don't know. Mono good. Well, I've already got a mono copy of this, so this may end up in a VCLT or something. The Jacksons, Victory, with State of Shock on it. Like I said, some of these, it's been so long now. This has been over 20 years. Percy Faith Strings, the Beatles album. I don't know. Some of these were her parents. Here's a K-Tail compilation, 20 power hits. Why not? Some good stuff on here. Dragging the Line, different stuff. I'm not a big K-Tail guy. Maybe some of my viewers that are can tell me. The Best of Sam Cooke. It's a later pressing, but there you go. CCR, Green River. This is an original fantasy label. So, Striper, To Hell with the Devil. This is a record club copy, BMG, but this I'm sure was one of hers. Bryan Adams, Reckless. This is the one with Run to You, Heaven, Summer '69. This was in my record collection. I don't know why these records in the divorce, why they didn't come with me. They got left behind. It was like just a small stack of records. Now, not all these were there. Air Supply's Greatest Hits. Like I said, some of these were her parents. Zubin Mehta, the Star Wars and Close Encounters. Yeah, well, there you go. I'll get another stack here. Bread, baby. I'ma want you. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Bread, but here's Fifth Dimension, Portrait. I know my friend Sean in New Orleans. Hi, Sean. He's a big fan. Tom Jones, I Who Have Nothing. I've recently started to enjoy Tom Jones, so I figure why not? This is a good one to have. Maybe. I don't know. Tom Jones fans, let me know. This Old Heart of Mine, the Isley Brothers on the Tamla label. This one was not one of mine, but you know, it was in that stack. So Neil Diamond, Do It. This is on the Bang, but this is a Solitary Man. I'm a Believer. It just looked interesting, looked cool. So I grabbed it. Hey everybody, get ready. You're getting Rickrolled. Rick Astley, whenever you need somebody. So there you go. Why not? It was there. Richard Marx. Here's the other one. Boy, everybody was playing Richard Marx. Now we're getting into some of mine. These look familiar, and I remember these. Vince Guaraldi, Oh Good Grief. So you could tell it's mine because I put the record behind the label even in. A 12-inch single of Men Without Hats, Pop Goes the World. Fun song, big hit. A copy of Carole King's Tapestry. I don't know if I had this or not. I've got a copy, so this is a second copy. It may or may not be an upgrade. This is one I didn't even know I had. r.e.m's Document. So this is a second copy. It may or may not be an upgrade from the one I already have. But again, it's, you know, it's stored like I would store a record. So that one was one of mine. Here is a Rhino pressing of the Monkees' first album, stereo. That's a second copy for me. Here's one I actually did not have, so I was kind of glad to find it in the in this stack. The Monkees' Pull It. I know that sounds funny to say I'm glad to have a copy of Pull It, but to have a full Monkees collection, I wanted to have Pull It, so I can listen to She's Moving In with Rico anytime I want. Here is Then and Now, the Best of the Monkees, the Arista compilation with the 86, you know, that was then, this is now. I already have this, so this is a second copy of that. Interesting compilation from the 80s on the Pear label, the Monkees Hit Factory. I did not have another copy of this, so it's a 2-record set, I think. Yeah. So, there it is. The soundtrack to The Graduate, which I think I've got another copy of. Some of these I've got copies of, so we might be doing some VCLTs. Shout out below. Klaatu, I have a copy of this. This is Master by Capitol. It's Wally, and it is Wally on one side. Interesting. Not a Wally on the other side. I think the one I have is actually a double Wally. So, these do get progressively better, by the way. Just letting you know. Here's one. The Beach Boys, Made in the USA. It's a compilation from the 80s. It's got California Dreamin' on it. And I think Roger McGuinn's on that version of California Dreamin'. But, nice to have a Beach Boys comp. The band, The Best of the Band, it was in there. I grabbed it. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3. I don't know if I have this or not. Maybe, maybe not. Willie Nelson, Without a Song. I don't know. Here's one I remember having and glad to have it back, even though I recently picked up a copy. This is Phil Keaggy's Underground, but it's autographed by Phil Keaggy when I first met Phil Keaggy back in the mid-90s. So that's cool, autographed copy. So there's also a single in here in terrible shape, and I made it worse, of Glass Harp. Village Queen and Children's Fantasy on the Decca label. So that's kind of an interesting little find. Wings Greatest, again, a record that I have. It does not have the poster in it, I don't believe. So here is my original copy of Wings Wings Over America, and I've got another copy of that I've bought since. So I don't know what kind of shape this is or what the pressing is. It may or may not be an upgrade. Don't know. Plastic Ono Band by Yoko. I don't know why I would have ended up with the Yoko Plastic Ono Band, but I did, and there it is. So I have it, the companion to the John Lennon. And we're about to wrap it up, so I'm doing pretty good. And here's a couple that I don't think I have, so it's nice that I got these back. George Harrison's 33 1/3. And this I may have a copy of. Like I said, some of the secondary ones I have here may end up on a VCLT, may end up in another contest. I know I've got a couple of these, so this is a third copy, yet a third copy, somewhere in England by George Harrison. The early Beatles stereo. This is on the Green Apple label. So yeah, glad to have this one back. This was probably the biggest one that I remembered not having anymore. So, and I'm actually taking out a couple of things that were in here. But this is an original 90s Live at the BBC that I bought brand new on vinyl. So it's nice because I never bought the reissue of this. So it's nice to have a vinyl copy of that. And in addition to that, is this 45? It's Only a Northern Song and It's All Too Much. These were little promo things that came out around the time of the anthologies. And I got one, Sean got one. I can't remember which one Sean got. He'll probably comment below. It is Double Wally, mastered by Wally. Like I said, these came out in the mid-90s for jukeboxes only. They were little promos and different ones. And, of course, I got this one just because I loved It's All Too Much. So that's a cool one to have. It just came in a plain white sleeve. So really glad to have that back. And also the 45 for Baby It's You. The single that came with the Live at the BBC. So, I'm not a big collector of singles, but it's nice to have these on 45. This is a second copy, and it looks pretty ragged, and it likely is. It's a Sam Feldman, Let It Be. I probably bought this cheap back in the day. Yeah, it's pretty beat up. Pretty beat up copy, but it's my original copy of that. The Beatles 6. This is a purple label. So let me check this one out. It is a Wally and a non-Wally. Mastered by Cat. No, wait a minute. There is that a Wally right there? That's a, I'm not sure. Anyway, late 70s purple label. And a Beatle 65. It's got the gold record stamp on it, but this is an Apple label. So, there you go. And finally, last and certainly not least in this collection is a White Album. A weird one because I've never bought a White Album. This is actually an Apple label. White Album. It looks to be in decent shape. I don't remember this being in my collection. It may have been. There's no inserts. There's no serial number. It is the embossed cover. But I don't know. I don't know what the story is on this. This may have just been her parents and just may have been in their collection. But I don't know. It may have been even, you know, it's funny, now I think about it, it may have even been one that Sean gave me that he had an extra copy of, and this one's pretty, I mean, it's got some seam splits. It's pretty beat up, but there you go. So I think I did it in pretty good time. That's it. The box is empty that I brought back. There was a lot of other stuff. A lot of the records just were not in good shape. Some of them were warped. You know, there's a couple of things I probably would have kept out of it, but you know, just to haul them back from Mississippi, you know, I was glad to get back the ones that I had, and then actually get a few records that I didn't have, that I just never rebought, and so so really glad to get a hold of those. So there you go. That is the mystery box of records. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Check out my other channel, Daily Records. I do a different record. Right now, we're in the middle of the Beatles. All month long, we're talking about Beatles. And we're running through the catalog. And for the rest of the month, we're probably going to talk solo Beatles and maybe some American albums, so on and so forth. We have a lot of fun on that channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all again very, very soon.